My name is Ellie Yearns, and I'll be discussing the features of the CALA method. According to Herrera and Murray, the CALA method has 4 foundational beliefs, and they all basically boil down to the idea that students need to be using learning strategies in order to best learn a new language. Cognitive learning strategies make space for students to make predictions and inferences based on their prior knowledge, as opposed to being told the answers up front and then asking students to regurgitate that information in a drill type format. That's not ideal. All students benefit from learning strategies, and studies have shown that culturally and linguistically diverse students will have a much harder time learning without such strategies. The CALA method has 5 phases, the first of which is the preparation phase. This is where students should be tapping into the prior knowledge that they have, what they already know. Next is the presentation phase. This is where the teacher has a large role in presenting the new information that is to be learned. And in presenting that information, she should be using visuals and guarded vocabulary to help scaffold the students as they learn this new information. This is also a time that the teacher should be checking in frequently for understanding and correcting any misinformation that might be circulating around the classroom as students are really grasping these new concepts. The third phase is practice. This is where you're going to turn your students loose to a degree to allow them to work on hands-on activities where they're practicing the new concepts, the new vocabulary, the new strategies, whatever it might be. And you're going to be moving around the room and again listening out for comprehension. The fourth phase is evaluation. In this phase, we want students to think about their own learning and progress. And this can be the hardest phase for students because they're probably much more used to having the teacher simply give them a grade or even working with peers. Maybe they're exchanging a quiz and grading each other and getting feedback that way. But it's really important for students to learn to look inward and say, how am I learning? What do I have a good grasp on? And what do I still need to continue to work on? And then the fifth and final phase is expansion. And this is basically where we want students to be meshing their new knowledge with their existing knowledge and experiences. My third slide here has this visual called Framework for Strategies Instruction. And it's, I think, a nice visual to show that with the CALA approach, as the teacher's responsibility decreases, the student's responsibility increases. And that's ideal, right? That's what we want to have happen, is as the student learns the knowledge from the teacher and is able to practice it through the practice phase, we want them to really take charge of their own learning to where by the end they're assessing what they still need to work on.